RIP.
Where did...
Hey, yo man, what's in your bag?
Hey guys, we're starting a series called What's in My Bag. We're going to talk about the different things that, as a coach, that I keep in my bag, even when I travel, or stuff that I use to CrossFit, and why. Why do I have that stuff? So the first thing we're going to talk about today is wrist wraps. So there's a couple of different kinds of wrist wraps that we have. First off is just kind of this cloth, fabricy wrist wrap. I'm going to go through how to use that in a second. But why are you going to wear a wrist wrap? Wrist wraps provide support, they provide some compression, and they help secure and give you the wrist and give you little feelings of security. Should you be wearing wrist wraps? Hey, if your wrists hurt, you should be wearing wrist wraps. You should still work on your mobility. Don't get me wrong, but you want to, if you're having issues where you feel like a little less secure, or you start to feel pain in your wrist, and it's not an injury pain, then wrist wraps can help. So some of the tips. One is that you still want to warm up without your wrist wraps if you can. You want to go ahead and warm up without those. While you're working about 60% or lower of your 1 rep max, that's a good range to keep to not be using wrist wraps. Don't tie your wrist wraps too low. They're supposed to be a wrist wrap and not a forearm guard. Don't use that wrist wrap to hide a mobility problem. And don't use your wrist wraps necessarily for gymnastics unless, of course, you're going to be doing that vault for points. Okay, so how do you use these? Since these are the kind that we sell, why do we use these? One is they're not quite as stiff as those other ones, so they're good for using during Olympic lifts. You can still catch that clean, but still get support for the wrist. So how you're going to do that? You're going to see it's got one string at the end. These are the gym rat wrist wraps that we carry, and the other end without a string. You're going to take the other end without a string. You're just going to kind of put it at the base of your palm, and you're going to use a finger to hold that. Then you're going to start and you're going to wrap it around your wrist. And I start off nice and high, and then you're going to take that and you're going to take it a little bit lower. Again, it's not a forearm guard, it's a wrist wrap, but that going a little bit lower gives you a little more support. You're going to wrap it in nice and tight. One of the cool things with this kind is that then once you get here, you're just going to take that string, wrap it around, get it to the other side, and you can just put it through the back side, and with like a little half hitch on there. And what you can do is you can just tighten it against itself, and it'll give you a lot of support, but it still is enough mobility so that way you can catch that clean. The other thing that's kind of cool is during a workout, if things you can loosen it or tighten it back up just by turning it against itself.
Let's kick it.